So I had just done a video where I shared my first missing person case that I worked on with a friend. And when I say I worked on, what I mean by that is it was spiritually channeled information and it was energetic imprints that I was getting regarding the case. And what I had learned from working that case is those cases take so long and sometimes are never solved here on earth. And like everything with those cases just take a lot of time and they're really hard to help assist with. And so there are like psychics and mediums that sometimes do help assist on those cases, like with detectives and different forces. But a lot of times, if you are just someone and you're trying to reach out and share some information that you've received, they're not going to take that seriously. And a lot of times they're not going to look into it, and for good reason. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go on when you're working those cases. Like when you're dealing with energy and souls, there is different timelines, there's different imprints, there could be trauma echoes. Like there's a lot of little details that could make you think that you've got the correct information and it's aligned with the earth grid right now, but it could have actually been not in the right timeline. And so those are tricky cases. And I had done quite a few of them, and a lot of people actually started following me on this account because I was doing a lot of true crime and missing person cases, but they were kind of becoming a little exhausting because of the fact that I would get so involved and maybe feel like I knew exactly where someone could be found or where their remains could be found, but you hit a lot of dead-end roads with that, and a lot of people don't want the information, they don't believe the information, and that's all very understandable. But it doesn't mean that the information couldn't be possibly correct. Like I discovered with the case that I just shared about, the information that I had pulled through for my friend, it all tracked. Unfortunately, she was deceased. And when the remains were found, and I looked into that ahead of time for my friend because the actual earth confirmation took a year. When I did my energetic scan, it just takes seconds, and I got a positive confirmation. And so, now granted, she took it with a grain of salt, like I told her, because I'm like, we still have to have earth confirmation, but it ended up being confirmed. And, and so I share this for multiple reasons. Like, I don't know if I really want to work on missing person cases. I can, and I do for certain people, especially if it's someone I know. But they are very draining, and it is kind of hard to push past all the different information and filter it to make sure you get the most accurate information, which is very important to me. And also, it's heavy. It's heavy work. It could be very rewarding, but it's heavy. And this is gonna probably sound crazy, but certain times when, like, say it's a missing person case and it's gotten a lot of public attention, and this family's entire life becomes all about this, and they're like running an organization around it and maybe getting Netflix series or whatever. Sometimes they don't want the person to be found, especially if they're deceased. And I know I don't say that to be harsh, but if you look at it from a different perspective, if, say, they're running an organization and they're getting TV time, and all of a sudden it's confirmed that the remains were found and they match their loved ones, it's over. And that could be just as scary at this point, because that's kind of what kept them connected to their loved one. It gave them purpose. It took up a lot of their time. It became a whole thing. It could become what was making their monthly income. And so, especially if their loved one is not still alive, they don't always want them to be found, especially if not alive. And so that can be frustrating as well, if you're just trying to offer someone help and then they don't like the truth of the matter, or they don't want to believe the truth. So yeah, I'm just sharing my personal experience with missing person cases as someone that just channels information energetically and on the soul level. So yeah, if you've ever worked a missing person case, share that in the comments. Or if you have someone that is in your family that is a missing person, have you ever worked with someone for the energetic side of it, of the investigation, to kind of see what was coming through? Curious. Let me know.